Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports here on the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. It's Christmas season, December 23rd. I got my little Santa hat on. My co-hosts are failing me.
I got my elf pants on.
All right.
I've
Timmy's
got my
elf pants.
underwear on. It's real festive. I just don't think anybody really wants to see that. Maybe I should have hung it behind me, huh?
That maybe would have been funny, yes. So we're going to start off today's show a little bit differently than we've been doing before we jump into our predictions. We just want to run, through some old school family memories, make you smile about Christmas. Maybe mention our favorite Christmas movie. We could play that game real quick. Ryan, why don't you kick us off here?
Yeah, so I guess when I was a kid, like real little, my mom used to tell me that Christmas with me was the worst because I would open one gift at a time and I would want to play with it for hours. And then she was like, eventually, like, hey, we need to speed up this process. Like, so she started making me like open all my other gifts too. But I think my one singular number one Christmas present that I got was the day that I got adopted. I don't know if my dad's listening to this or not, but that was single-handedly the best Christmas present that I will ever receive in the entire however many years that I live. That adoption, was the thing that I needed. Dad stepped up, was the father that he never had to be, took it on to take on two kids into his life that were never his. And now we call him Dad, take on his last name. We're going to simplify the story here, but that's easily, my favorite Christmas present of all time was being adopted by my dad. So thanks, Pop. Love you.
Okay, so whatever Timmy and I have to say does not match up to that. So Timmy, go ahead.
I don't know if I want to follow that.
Okay, I'll follow that. No, I won't. Go ahead.
I think my fondest moment was, if I remember, when I was like 7 years old, when mom and dad were still together the first time.
The first time, yeah.
They like went all out and did everything we wanted. They decorated the house. Remember that train carousel we had like hanging on the balcony.
Yep.
I remember playing around with that. But I think my greatest moment was like just seeing how happy mom was opening our gifts. Like
You
hey,
took it from me.
beat you. I told you should have went first.
Sorry, go ahead.
But like it definitely was like how happy mom was seeing our faces light up when you knew she was struggling at the time, but she didn't care. She wanted to see our kids happy, and she made it happen.
Yeah, so I've actually got two, and it starts with Timmy's. You don't realize this as a kid, right? But how much your parents put into making you smile on Christmas morning. The whole season is about the parents, but that day, Christmas Day, is about the kids. And like Tim said, our dad's kind of a Grinch, so I'm not surprised that Timmy kind of rolled into that. However, my mom used to do anything and everything possible to get us what we wanted when we asked for it. And as Timmy alluded to, we weren't exactly flush with cash, So, Mom, thank you so much for making Christmas what it was. I love you. And then, because I love Christmas so much, later in life, I decided to play Santa Claus as my niece, or for my niece and nephew. This was just like the most recent was like a couple years ago, and just the joy and absolute shining smiles off of their faces really brought me a lot of joy. So I like that a lot.
Yes, Ken Brent, we know you're the Grinch.
Let's fire off with our favorite Christmas movies. I'm actually going to go first on this one. There's obviously there's so many good ones. There's Home Alone. There's Die Hard. There's.
I was hoping you would say.
I will argue with anybody that Die Hard is in fact a Christmas movie. Okay. There's The Grinch, Christmas Vacation, tons of them. Right. My favorite and the one that I watch most of all is Christmas Vacation. Just Clark Griswold trying to, throw that perfect Christmas for his family, and it ends up being a complete debacle, and it ends up being all right in the end. So Christmas Vacation for me. Tim?
I think I'm going to have to go with The Grinch. I love watching The Grinch.
Jim Carrey or the other one?
Jim Carrey, I think.
Yeah, not the animated
The older one.
Yeah,
the older one. Not the newer one. The newer one is the cartoon version that I really don't like. But it's definitely the older one. It reminds me of Dad being a Grinch, and then the Whoville was trying to make him happy, which we could never do.
It's fair. It's fair. Ryan?
I like the 1964 version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. To me, that was
Ooh,
my favorite Christmas
That's a
movie
good
of
one.
all time. The one with
that's a great one.
Yukon Cornelius, the greatest prospector in the world. That one gets me every time. So that for me ranks up there. And the Grinch that kind of came out around the same time too. That was those are the top two for me. But I'm a Rudolph guy, so.
I hear
So
you.
you
I
got
like
a
it. I like
couple
it.
comments in the comment section saying Die Hard is not a Christmas movie.
Real quick, I see 7 people watching on Facebook. All of you, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button, because what that does is it takes half a second out of your day, and it's free love, free spreading. It doesn't take much. So thank you so much for tuning in first. And then secondly, just go ahead and hit that like button. You like this anyway. Don't lie.
I'm going to answer Pete and Ken. I don't care what Bruce Willis said. He may have starred in the movie, but we watched it. It's a Christmas movie. It's about a man going somewhere that he doesn't want to go during the holidays and celebrating with people he doesn't want to celebrate with. If that's not what a Christmas movie is, I don't know what is.
Man, that sounds like our family.
All
Hey,
right,
man,
so
I haven't been home for Christmas in years. So,
you were here last year.
I mean, home away from home, I guess.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's get back to business, though. But before I do that, I do want to wish every one of you watching, anybody who may be watching in the future, a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, whatever it is that you celebrate, whatever it is that you do. We appreciate you all, and we wish you the best here from the BSing Network family.
Let's bring up Mom's comment real quick.
Mom says her best moments were the thing you all hated the most, the family picture where we were all together. For those of you who want a little bit of backstory on this, we didn't hate the family picture. We hated how Mom wanted the family picture. Okay. She was a tyrant. She was vicious. And if she didn't get her way, the world would end. Okay. So
I see my mom watching this show too. So I hope that she's listening, because it was the same exact way in our house.
It was the worst thing in the world. Especially after we opened our gifts. She wouldn't let it go play. She had to take that picture.
Yeah, and that's the worst about a thing, right? Is like we got to open the gifts that we wanted to play with all like for 2 months. I want this gift. I want this gift. I want this gift. Okay, fine, Christmas, whatever. And then we get the gift, and then it's like, well, don't go play with the gift. Come here, do this photo the way I want you to do it right here, right now, exactly the way I want you to smile.
And
we got our Christmas photos a few days before Christmas started, so I'm good with that. Like, my mom knew once the gifts were out that it was all bets off. I wouldn't sit still for nothing.
I'm bringing this.
It wasn't even one take. It wasn't even one take. It was like 100 takes. Because somewhere I did want to smile. Someone wasn't looking. Like,
dude, that's the worst part, man. Is somebody's blinking, especially for you guys, because you guys have a massive family. Like, I'm sure somebody was blinking in those photos at the wrong time.
Exactly.
The years that we decided to do it without Mom knowing were always the easiest. It took us like 20 minutes. It didn't take us hours. Nobody got hit. Nobody cried. It was great.
Mom, if I have any comments, I'm going to need you to just listen to the beginning of the show. I already shared my best Christmas moment, so.
Yeah, but again, Merry Christmas to all, and let's get to our predictions.
I predict we will have a great Christmas.
Yeah, yes. So we all three of us took the Jaguars last night. None of us really showed any faith in Zach Wilson, and he proved us all correct. Yeah. So they had some random guy, Swavinsky. I can't pronounce his last name.
Dude, I almost want to call him Sylvester Stallone. Like, I know his name is close to Sylvester. I can't remember. I posted a meme about it, though, so let me do some research here and dig into that real quick.
That's fine.
A single individual in here named Pete. In our comment section, I'd like to point out, you are not beating me in auto traders this week. I will be going to the championship. I'm sorry that I had to knock you out.
Hey, sorry, man. Not sorry, right?
We'll be non-apologetic. I don't know if Tim and I can do the fantasy show together next week if we're in the finals together in that league.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll take that one day at a time. Got to get there first, right? Let's get to our predictions.
Yeah. So anyway, the Jaguars come out on top. They're now 7-8, half a game behind the Titans in their division. And the Jets fall again, also falling to 7-8. But let's do it. So we got the Bills at 11-3 visiting the Bears at 3-11. The over-under is 40 points. Buffalo is favored by 8 points. It is Ryan.
Thank God, man. I love these easy games. I'm taking the team that starts with B.
Oh,
I'm taking the Bills. Obviously, this game shouldn't be close. The Eagles played like crap last week against them and still won the game. I just expect the Bills to come out better. I'm taking the over here. I know the 8's a lot. However, I just don't think that the Bears are a formidable opponent in any way. And I do think it goes over, despite the fact that there's supposed to be single digit, temperatures in there. I mean, that's like shorts weather for these players in Buffalo. So go ahead and
Yeah.
go ahead and give me the Bills here comfortably.
Tim?
so I like to point out Ryan bring up source weather and like -8 degrees weather. I'm that type of guy, and in New Jersey right now it's like 16 degrees. I don't even want to go outside. Like I'm cold. But give me the Bills to cover and over. Exactly like Ryan said. I think Josh Allen's going to have himself a day. He don't care about the cold. He's going to run over a linebacker. He's going to throw the ball nonstop. So to Stephon Diggs, I hope, because me and Ryan both have him, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, and you're two different leagues playing the same person in each league.
That's crazy. Yeah, for me, I talked about it on our recap show with Ryan. I don't think the Eagles did what they could have done best to beat the Bears this past week in running the football. I think Devin Singletary has a huge game. And
And
Josh
their
Allen also.
RB1, Josh Allen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Josh Allen has a really good game. But I'm also going Bills over and to cover. Ryan said it, 8 points a lot. Just the Bears are really depleted right now, and I just don't think they can hang with the Bills. So
Can we talk about how Stephon Diggs is getting mad at Josh Allen for not throwing him the ball?
I mean, he's targeted 11 times a game. What's he talking about?
Not last week. He was only targeted 6 times.
It's kind of a blizzard going on,
I
but
think
okay.
he'll get over it. I think it was a weird game. I think he'll get over it, though. I mean, he made the same kind of stink in Minnesota, but I think that he'll quickly get over that.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh Allen greater than Case Keenum.
I mean, obviously.
Saints 5-9 visiting the Browns 6-8, 32.5 is the over/under. Cleveland is favored by 3. Your numbers are not matching my document, but that's fine.
I just wrote them down like 5 minutes ago.
ESPN?
Yeah.
Okay, then it changed from yesterday when I did this. It doesn't matter though. So anyway, yeah, 3 points for the Browns. Tim.
Man, that's tough. It's snowing in Cleveland right now already. It's supposed to be snowing all day tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They both got really good quarterbacks. I guess give me the Browns. Deshaun Watson's a little bit more mobile than Andy Dalton, and that's the reason why I'm going with that. So give me the Browns to cover and not to go over.
32.5 points, not going over.
No, it's going to be 10-17, something like that.
Okay. I'm with you. I think it's the Browns in this game. The fact that the Saints, Falcons, Panthers, and Buccaneers are all in the same playoff battle is not going to make a difference for these teams that are just not good. Andy Dalton has looked better. However, so has Deshaun Watson. And every game he's played, he's looked a little like he's kicked off a little bit more rust. So I'm going to go Browns to cover the 3 points. And I think they do get to the 32.5, the 33-point range. So I'm going to go the over. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to Nick Chubb actually being utilized. That would be nice.
Tell me about it. I need that.
Yeah, seriously. And I think it starts this week. So yeah, give me the yeah.
Yeah,
Browns.
I'm taking the Browns here too, and it's because the Saints are a dome team that play in the South, and as you just mentioned, Tim, it's going to be single digits and windy and potential snow there for the game. So I'm going to take the home team here. We're again talking about home field advantage very comfortably. I do think it's a bit of a closer game. I actually think 3 points is a pretty good spread, so I'm going to say that they nail that on the dot. I'm not going over or under. I think it's a 3-point game, and I do think that it's under. I just don't see any sort of offense, formulating in this game between the Watson still being rusty, the weather. Chris Olave's out for this game.
Yeah, I got to change my DVS.
Yeah, I just don't.
I got to change mine.
Yeah, I just don't see, any sort of way where this game becomes a shootout. So give me the outdoor team.
Yeah. Texans at 1-12-1
I
at
knew it.
Titans.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Wait, is that real?
I can't imagine that Logan would just pop on the show and lie to me.
No, come on. I haven't. I got nothing on Twitter. I've got nothing
Let
on
me look
anything.
at Passan. I'll check Passan. Dude knows all because we're not checking,
That's the dude that was suspended from the Dodgers, right?
An actual closer.
Oh, okay.
No, that's Trevor Bauer you're talking about.
Yeah,
Ken Rosenthal. Right. Okay, Rosenthal's trustworthy. We're going there.
Sorry to give you. It is confirmed. Breaking news here on the BSing Sports Podcast of the BSing Network. Craig Kimbrell has signed with the Philadelphia Phillies, giving them a really, really strong three-headed monster at the back of their bullpen, and Jose Alvarado, Sir Anthony Dominguez, and now Craig Kimbrell.
Logan, I love you.
Thank you, Logan. I really appreciate that.
I don't even get that, Logan.
Let's see. Texans, for what it's worth, I would like Trevor Bauer to sign with the Phillies as well. I'm not even kidding.
Let's get there first.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, Texans 1-12-1, Titans 7-7, 35.5 is the over/under. Tennessee is favored by 3 points. I go first on this one. Listen, the Texans have been playing a lot of good ball lately, and the Titans are kind of reeling. They don't. Treylon Burks is looking like he will play. However, Ryan Tannehill does not look like he's playing.
He's out for the season.
I'm going the Houston Texans here.
They've been playing good ball.
They have been playing good ball, and the Titans are kind of like falling off a little bit. I said at the beginning of the season the Jaguars are a playoff team, and they're starting to prove to me that they're a playoff team, mostly because of how bad that division is, but still. And the 35.5, I don't think they get there. So I'm going to say they stay with the under, and the Texans come out victorious. Ryan.
Let me take a little flashback here. So the Titans played in Houston conveniently in a game that Ryan Tannehill missed. Yeah, but it's kind of sounded familiar. Derrick Henry ran for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns against the worst run defense. He has career days against Houston every single time. I wouldn't be surprised if he did better than that this time. I'm taking the Titans here. I do see your logic, Bill. They are a very one-dimensional team. However, you could not have picked a better opponent for them to be one-dimensional against, and it's the worst run defense in the NFL. So I'm taking the Tennessee Titans, and I do think that they win by more than 3, and I'm taking the under. I do see 17-10, somewhere in that neighborhood again. I just don't think the Texans have anything. And just when you think that the Titans are all down and out, the defense isn't looking good, their quarterback's out. All of a sudden with Ryan Tannehill out, their defense is going to play amazing, and, they're going to shut down the, Houston Texans, which is not a formidable team anyway. So go ahead and give me the Titans here.
All right. Before I let you get into yours, Timmy, I do want to make an addendum to what I said earlier. I want to give Logan his credit. Logan Stone of VSN has broke news on BSing Sports Podcast of the Craig Kimbrell signing. Credit where it's due. Thank you, Logan. We really appreciate it.
I still love you, Logan.
Get it right.
I want to make sure that we're, camaraderie and stuff. I had to give him his shout out. Fire away.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Ryan. Derrick Henry going to have himself another game against the Texans. Give me the Titans to cover. I don't think they're going to go over. I do see Derrick Henry getting 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving too.
Okay.
Also, since we're talking about this game, I'll go ahead and concede my win to you guys because obviously with Ryan Tannehill being out, there's no shot that the Titans finish ahead of the Bengals. And
so I'm only 2.5 behind you now, huh?
No, you're 3.5 still, I think, because you lost the game last week.
No, we tied because I took one game that you didn't.
It was 4.5 before that, I believe. The week before that, so I think you're only 3.5. I could be wrong, but Bill will tell us here in a second.
So +1 to us.
Actually, that would eliminate the half game altogether. If I'm not mistaken.
Does eliminate the half game altogether. Yeah. So Timmy won with that 136.95 and 2. Bill 148.81 and 2. Ryan 139.94 and 2.
Yeah, 3.
Yep, 3 games back.
I got 2 weeks.
You know what? I'm good with that. I'm good with
doing playoffs too.
I forgot we're doing playoffs. You're right. But yeah, it's been a long month. All right. Definitely give me the Titans -3 and not to go over the 30 whatever points it
Would a
is.
cover and not go over?
Yes.
Under and cover. Okay. I just want to make sure I got everything right. All right. Seahawks at the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 10. Seahawks 7-7. Chiefs 11-3. 49 is the over-under. Kansas City is favored by 10, as I just pointed out. Ryan, you get first shot at that one, buddy.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I don't think that they cover 10 points, though. They do have a very suspect and horrendous defense, and as we've seen, the Seahawks can put up some points. I'm taking the over, though. I think that this is going to be a shootout. My DFS lineups hope that this is a shootout. Ken Walker is going to play, according to Pete Carroll. He is leaning that way, barring any pregame setbacks, as well as DJ Dallas. Tyler Lockett is out for this game. And then, yeah, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. So I'm taking the Chiefs, though, comfortably, but not by 10. I don't think that they win by 10.
Tim.
I am also taking the Chiefs. Like Ryan said, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. He's going to find a way to score it like he does any other time. But I do think they're going to cover by 10. That Seahawks look abysmal lately against the last 4 games they played, 1-3. I think they beat the Giants or something like that. And
Rams. They beat the Rams. I'm sorry.
Yes, sorry. And give me the over. Definitely the over.
Okay. Yeah, I'm copy and pasting both of your answers. The Seahawks haven't. So I'm copy and pasting Ryan's answer. The Seahawks haven't been playing well. However, they do put up points. With Kenneth Walker in there and the abysmal defense that the Chiefs are running out there every week, I think this is a very high-scoring game. I think they get into the realm of the 60s, not exaggerating. And I don't think the Chiefs cover the 10 points. I think it's a 7-point game when the dust settles. So yeah, give me the Chiefs, give me the over, and give me them not to cover the 10-point spread. Let's see. Giants at 8-5-1 visiting the Vikings at 11-3. Vikings are favored by 4 points. This one is Tim. Giants coming off of a really emotional win.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing to me. Give me the Vikings. They're gonna outscore the Giants like they outscored the Colts in the last 18 minutes of the last 16 minutes of the game of last week. Give me them to cover and they go over. Justin Jefferson's gonna have himself a day.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Vikings really build off of that 18-minute comeback that they did against the Colts last week. I know the Colts aren't a great team, and Matt Ryan gets benched. We'll go into that in a few minutes here. But it wasn't Matt Ryan's fault. It was the defense's fault. And because the offense were able to throw it together for the Vikings the way they did, you're talking Justin Jefferson with a ton of yards, KJ Osborne with a ton of yards, Dalvin Cook with a ton of yards, Kirk Cousins looking masterful in the last quarter and a half, other than the interception of Jalen Reagor where Reagor just stops running. The worst part about that is that's another touchdown. If Reagor just keeps running, he's got his man beat. I don't know why he quit running. That's a whole other story. So I'm going to go Vikings here. 4 points. I don't think they cover the 4 points. I think it's a 3-point victory for the Vikings here because the Giants defense is better than the Colts defense. I also don't expect them to get over the 48 points for whatever reason. I'm looking at 24-17 in my head. Or I'm sorry, 24-21 in my head. Or like 21-17 in my head, something like that. So I'm going to say no, they do not go over, and they do not cover. Ryan?
I'm taking the Vikings as well. Both of these teams are coming off, drastic momentum turns. I mean, the Giants were looking for the basement in the NFC East, and then all of a sudden, they pull out a win that we, the Vegas odds makers, and a lot of other people after they had just recently tied the Commanders didn't think they could pull out. And then, they sure enough do. Whether it was by help with the referees or not is another thing. The final score dictates that the Giants won. That helps build the momentum. And then on the other hand, I believe the number was 24 minutes. The Vikings put up 36 points and forced overtime to win that football game. So I'm going to take the better team here. I think that the Vikings are just a little bit better offensively at the skill positions. I mean, and when I say a little bit better, I mean a lot of bit better. And that's Justin Jefferson's kind of hard to match up with. KJ Osborne had a breakout game there on Thanksgiving. I believe that, or no, not Thanksgiving. That was last week. Yeah, KJ Osborne had a breakout game last week. TJ Hawkinson's still there. Good tight end. So I just think the Vikings are better suited offensively. Give me the Vikings to cover, and I do think it goes over because I don't trust their defense.
I like it. Bengals at 10-4, Patriots at 7-7. 41.5 is the over/under. Cincinnati favored by 3 points.
Craig
it's me.
Kimbrell,
Yeah.
1 year, $10 million.
Say that again.
Craig Kimbrell, 1 year, $10 million.
Okay. He's going 1 year deal to 1 year deal to 1 year deal right now, isn't he?
He's on the right team. I don't care what he's doing. 1 year deal to 1 year deal to 1 year deal. He's trying to 1 year deal with the good team. So that's what I like to see.
That's a good point. Listen, I'm going to go Bengals here. I know that Bill Belichick-led defenses typically do really well in all weathers and stuff like that. However, until the Patriots get an offensive coordinator coordinating the offense, I'm really leaning away from the Patriots at this point. So, yeah, give me the Bengals. I mean, you're talking a 3-point spread. I think the Bengals definitely cover the 3-point spread, and 41.5 is not a lot of points considering the Bengals offense. So I'm going to take them to go over as well. So Bengals over, cover. Ryan.
Taking the Bengals here as well. I think that they're the better football team. If I had to pick a trap game on the slate, though, this is the one. We've seen Bill Belichick, scheme up great game plans against good offenses. Not only that, I know Cincinnati's kind of north. It's not New England north, and it's supposed to be cold everywhere in the country this week. So I don't think that they break that over-under mark. I think that this game stays under. I think there's not going to be a lot of scoring in this game. However, do give me the Bengals, and I do think that they cover, but not by a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Ryan. Give me the Bengals. I still think T. Higgins and Jamar Chase's going to have himself a game. Either way, even Joe Mixon, it's going to be a lot of rushing. Even though Patriots do have a good defense, but give me the Bengals to cover the 3 points, but not to go over.
It's Ryan's photo, but he didn't look at me while I was doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I forget why I made that photo. I made it like
undercover, Timmy?
Yes.
Undercover. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. It was about something Phillies related.
Yeah, it was like week 6. It was like way early in the NFL season. So,
yeah. Let's see. The Lions, who have been playing out of their minds lately, 2.5-point favorites at 7-7 over the visiting Carolina Panthers at 5. They're going to Carolina Panthers at 5-9. 44 is the over/under. As I said, 2.5-point favorites are the Lions. Ryan.
I'm going to take the Lions here, not comfortably, but I'm going to take the Lions here. Another team that's been playing very well, if you're looking at the last handful of games, are the Carolina Panthers. I do think that they cover. I think it's really hard to win a game by less than 3 points. So if I'm picking the Lions to win, I might as well pick the over. And then I think that they go over. I think that, Detroit's defense and Sam Darnold has that offense semi-competent enough that they can take advantage of Detroit's weak defense. I see a shootout here. I really do. Give me over 44.
Tim.
Give me the Lions. They're going to score points. The Panthers played a tough game against the Steelers last week. They couldn't really get the running game going or the passing game. The Steelers have a good defense, so it is what it is. Give me the Lions to cover, but I don't think it's going to go over the 44 points. It's going to be cold in South Carolina or North Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be cold across the entire country, but
North Carolina. Sorry.
It's going to be cold across the entire country, but the Lions are more accustomed to the cold than the Panthers are, so I'm also going Lions.
The Lions playing the dome.
Panthers. What's up?
The Lions might play in a dome, but they're a team located in Detroit. I don't want to hear that those players aren't used to cold weather. I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
I mean, the Panthers aren't either. They play in the South.
Yeah. But that's my point is the Lions are probably more ready for the cold weather than the Panthers are. And for me, that Lions offense is really clicking on every possible cylinder it could be clicking on. So I am also, I mean, come on, Penei Sewell caught a fourth down play a couple
Dude,
weeks
that was
ago.
awesome. Dude, did you hear the Dan Campbell talk about
Campbell
that?
he didn't even know
He
that they
Yeah.
were
didn't hear the
calling that
play
play.
call.
He looked up and Penei Sewell's catching a football. He's like, "What's going on here?" But yeah, and I also, again, it's very difficult not to win by at least 3 points in the NFL. So I'm going to go over and for the Lions to cover. Yes, let's see here.
You know, since this is BSing sports, that makes me think of something. I'm gonna like go off on a little bit of a tail here. It won't take long. I wonder if there's a direct correlation between delay of game penalties, like, you know, how quickly offenses let the play clock run out when offensive coordinators call the play versus head coaches. Because if head coaches call the play, they don't have to like relay it through somebody. You know, they just get it out there. Whereas like offensive coordinators, hey, you know, you like this play? Is that good? Yeah. Like, I wonder if there's a correlation there. I don't know. That's just
Is that how the play calling works, or does the offensive coordinator just call the play, regardless of what the head coach might think? Now, is there also a scenario where the head coach hears it and is like, "No, I don't like that play"?
yeah.
Probably. But overall, I bet that there's a conversation of a game plan in place going into the game that's at hand and working. And the offensive coordinator probably has like a list of plays that the head coach has approved for certain scenarios, and they probably just run those.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, like, think about that play in Detroit. You know, like, obviously, there are certain scenarios where offensive coordinators got to relay through the head coach if they're the ones calling the plays.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Takes time. I was just curious about that. But,
That's a good question.
we can keep
Tim?
going.
No, it is a good question. I think it does go through the head coach. They're all in the same comm system as a quarterback, and so
I agree. He definitely hears the play. Now, I like Ryan's question though. How often does the head coach like, no, don't run that, pick
It's
something
gotta-
else?
And then
It's
tick,
gotta
tick,
be a
tick,
couple
tick,
times
tick,
a game.
play game, offense.
Yeah, it's got to be a couple times a game.
Can we find that stat? I would love that stat.
I'll do some research into it later.
Next game, we got the Falcons at 5-9 at the Ravens at 9-5. 35.5 is the over/under. Baltimore is favored by 7.5 points, even with Lamar Jackson out. Goes to show that Vegas cares very little. I'm sorry, 6.5 points. Again, different thing. Vegas cares very little about Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, I don't think this. I think this is me.
No, it's me.
Tim?
Man, if it'd be a game of Ravens lose, it'd be this one. But I'm still taking the Ravens. I think Mark Andrews and Tyler Huntley finally get back on track. It's a perfect game. Mark Andrews had a great matchup against that Falcons defense. They need to utilize it. Yeah, so give me the Ravens, not to cover the 6.5 points. And I don't think it would go over under.
No, okay. If I was looking at the NFL docket, this and one other game, and I will tell you the other game shortly, I thought were trap games, like Ryan brought up earlier about the Bengals-Patriots game. I saw this one and another one, but I do think the Ravens come out on top. That defense is just really good, and Desmond Ritter has not shown that he can handle a good defense. So I'm going to go Ravens. I'm going to go 35.5 is not a lot of points between two teams. So I'm going to go on the over here, but I'm also going to say that the Ravens do not cover the 6.5 point spread. Huntley's going to do just enough to win this game, and that's exactly what I expect. Desmond Ritter is going to do just enough to have them competitive in this game, and that's what I expect, and that's how it's going to look. So, yeah, again, I got Ravens with the over and to not cover the 6.5 point spread. Ryan.
Game time weather, 16 degrees. One of these teams plays their home games in a dome. One of them doesn't. I'm taking the home team here. I think that weather will be a factor with a young quarterback that does not have, NFL skill set just yet. And, quite frankly, a lot of people don't think he ever will. I do think that the Ravens cover here, but I don't think that it goes over. I just don't think that the Falcons are a team that's going to be prepared for a Ravens team that is now desperate to make a playoff push because they need to win football games. They cannot afford to lose ground to the Bengals anymore. So I think the Ravens are a little hungrier. I think they're a little better of a football team, and weather's going to put them over the top here. And I'll have you note, Bill, the over-under has dropped a point. So Vegas, starting to say like, hey, maybe 35.5. We were wrong about that too. I don't even think it reached 34.5. So I think like 20-3, maybe at best.
I see that.
This isn't my other trap game, but I could also see this being a trap game. For what it's
Another
worth.
trap game on Sunday or Saturday evening, 4:25 kickoff time.
It is not.
No.
It is not. It's actually the game early on Sunday. The Packers Dolphins is my other trap game. We'll get into that. Yeah, so Commanders 49ers, I get the first pick on this. I mean, it's really tough. So anyway, I'm Commanders 7-6-1 coming off that loss to the Giants. At the 49ers at 10-4. The over under 38 points. San Francisco is favored by 6.5. It's really tough to go against that 49ers defense right now. Really, really tough to go against that 49ers defense right now. Ryan's looking at something that makes me think he's got information I don't have. But based on what I looked at 2 hours ago, I'm taking San Francisco here all the way. I don't think they cover, for what it's worth. I don't think they cover the 7-point spread, 6.5-point spread. And I do think it goes over 38 points. So I'm going to go San Francisco over and do not cover the 6.5-point spread. I think it's a little bit of a shootout, not in terms of like a 34-31 game, but I think it gets into the 24-21 realm, 27-24 realm. And the Niners, are victorious because they play really good football in all three facets, even with Mr. Irrelevant being the quarterback right now. But he's very relevant right now in Brock Purdy, that is. So yeah, 49ers over and not to cover. Ryan.
I was sighing at the fact that I have to pick first on the Vegas Steelers game, not anything having to do with this game. I was looking down the order, or no, I don't. I have to pick first on the next game, don't I?
You do, yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that. Totally good with that. Dodged a bullet there. Definitely don't want to pick first on that game. I'm taking the 49ers here. I don't think that they reached the over-under. Actually, I'm surprised that it's that high. And I say that because Washington has a sneaky good defense this year. They've allowed 8 more points than the Eagles on the entire season. And the Eagles are 7th in overall points. And as we know, the 49ers have the best defense in the NFL. So I'm surprised that it's that high. I see 20-13 49ers. I do think that they cover. I just think that the 49ers offense is significantly better and is more likely to overcome the strong defense than the Commanders have. So I'm taking the Niners to cover, but under the over-under.
All right, Tim.
You're going to hear it first, right here on BSing Sports.
The Commanders not winning this game. Get the hell out
The
of here.
Commanders are going to beat Brock Purdy in the San Francisco 49ers Stadium.
I said it could be a trap. I said it could be a trap game.
I think the 49ers get looking ahead to the next game, to be completely honest, like the Dallas did against Jacksonville. So
Like the Eagles almost did against Chicago.
Exactly. Like it happens. And I think the Commanders Tyler Heineke figure out a way to pull it out. So, but I don't think it's going to go over the over under.
You think the Niners are looking ahead to Vegas?
Yeah, the Vegas can score, dude.
They sure can. But they're sub 500 and terrible. I'm so glad I don't have to pick first that game. That really scared me. I was looking at that like, oh, geez.
Listen, for what it's worth, if the Niners and the Vikings both lose this week, the Eagles clinch the one spot. Doesn't matter what they do.
How about the Eagles just win and control their own destiny?
Well, I mean, since we're talking about that game, I guess we may as well talk about that game. Ryan, you get the first pick.
And the Eagles are going to win and control their own destiny.
Eagles at 13-1. Over under is 47 points. Dallas is favored by 4.5. Gardner Minshew is starting. Jalen Hurts is out. Ryan.
Good, because if he's not 100%, he doesn't need to play.
Yes.
Truthfully, The Eagles have such a good team. You know, we were just on the Talking 215 pod. If you have not checked out Talking 215, if you are an Eagles fan, claim that you want to be an Eagles fan or know somebody that is an Eagles fan or just a Philadelphia sports fan, go ahead and check them out. They are a part of the BSing network as well. We just talked about it. I think 31-21 Eagles. I think that they open this game up. I think that there's too much talent on this team. Second in the NFL in yards allowed on defense, seventh in points. They have the best wide receiver duo in the NFC. They have a top 5 tight end in the NFL. PFF and anybody who watches football knows that they have the best offensive line. They have a running back with over 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns on the season. And Gardner Minshew is a guy who started 2 games last year to a 68% completion percentage, 230 yards a game, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think that the Eagles are in line to play a good game, and I think that they go into Dallas knowing exactly what's at stake, knowing all the talk about Jalen Hurts not playing in this game, and they use that. And I think that they beat the crap out of the Cowboys.
Tim?
I absolutely love that take, Ryan. I thought about this game a lot over the week. Like I talked to my boss. I would talk to Eagles all the time. And I agree with Ryan. Give me the Eagles. I think Gardner Minshew is good enough with that Eagles game plan. It's very simple. Throw the ball, run the ball, game, play action pass. Like Minshew can run too. Don't get it wrong. He was a running quarterback in Jacksonville.
Right.
So give me the Eagles and I go over. It's going to be a high scoring game.
I agree. We have a comment from Southern Boy Sports Vanderbilt on Twitter. He says, "I'm waiting on." Huh?
Yeah, he says, I'm waiting on y'all to pick the Titans to beat the Texans. That will be comical. Might be the worst offensive line ever assembled in Titans blue this week. They have Derrick Henry, man. Derrick Henry has career days against Houston. I'm not betting against Derrick Henry when Houston's on the other side of the football.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, since you missed that part, Timmy and Ryan both took the Titans and I took the Texans. On to the Eagles. Ryan already said it. We were just on a Talking 215 show that'll be available for you guys to look at tomorrow, where we broke down the stats of Gardner Minshew's career path, not just his spot starts for Philadelphia. 98.1 QBR rating. He's got over 6,000 yards, 41-9 touchdown interception ratio. The guy can ball. And I don't think there's any part of this game where Gardner Minshew comes out and lays an egg. And I think that Nick Sirianni will have the rest of the team ready to go. So I also believe that this game goes over. I think the Eagles make a very dominant statement in the NFC East this year, this week, by showing the Cowboys that regardless of who's at quarterback, we can win games, which would be the adverse situation that the Cowboys dealt with earlier this season. And I think the big thing is, and I apologize, I don't know if Ryan touched on this, is when Lane Johnson was on the field the last time they faced each other, Micah Parsons did absolutely nothing to disrupt the Eagles. And then the third quarter happened, and I'm aware of that. But overall, I've got the Eagles in a dominant victory and for them to go over the 47-point spread.
Now, let's not forget Gardner Minshew played Week 18 last year when Dallas had a win to make the playoffs. Well, no, I'm sorry. They already had a playoff clinch, but they played the starters and the whole game, and they blew him out. But Minshew was still putting up numbers with number 2 guys the whole game.
I was about to bring that up. Minshew was playing with second stringers.
The whole game against the number 1 starters. Now imagine him with number 1 starters on both sides of the ball. It's going to be a good game, and I think Minshew pulls it out.
Devontae Smith's about to have a day.
Yes. Yep. Mark our words. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. If you aren't starting them in DFS, you probably should.
Oh, I am.
Miami Dolphins host the Green Bay Packers. Packers sitting at 6-8, still somehow alive in the playoff hunt. The Dolphins at 8-6, currently in the playoff hunt. What are you shaking your? Oh, okay. That 6-8 is still alive.
Yeah.
49.5 is the over/under. I'm sorry, I skipped a game because it's so irrelevant that I skipped it. Tim, you get to pick first the Raiders and Steelers. Raiders in 6-8, Steelers at 6-8, 38.5 is the over/under. Pittsburgh favored by 8. It's not even on here. That's how we didn't even think about this game so much that it's not in my banners. That's how little we thought of this game.
Give me the Raiders still. They're a high scoring offense, so give me the Raiders. I know Steelers got a good defense, and they'll be playing great ball. Still give me the Raiders.
Okay. That makes it me. I'm going to go Pittsburgh at home, mostly because they are the home team. Vegas plays in Vegas where it's warm most of the time. Pittsburgh's expected to be freezing. I'm going to go Steelers. I think they cover because they win by 3. So Steelers cover. And I think it stays under the 38.5 points.
Yeah, I am going to copy and paste everything Bill said. You've got a warm weather team traveling to a, let's see, they're projecting 12 degrees at kickoff. So give me the Steelers here. Kenny Pickett.
And it's a night game. So 12 at kickoff means it gets colder as the night goes on.
Yep. Give me the cold weather team. Mike Tomlin's been there before. He'll have that team ready. And Ken Brandt in the comments makes a good point. Condolences to the family of Franco Harris. Steelers, great running back, 4 Super Bowls.
The Immaculate Reception.
Yep.
1972, man. But apologies. Let's get on to the. It's really sad. Let's talk about the Franco Harris thing, right? He dies a few days ago. It's unfortunate. The Steelers were retiring his number on Saturday night. So he just misses out on that. Obviously, he knew the information that they were going to retire his number, but it's sad that he's going to miss the actual ceremony. I expect there to be a lot of tears, a lot of emotion, and I expect Pittsburgh to come out even more fired up because of something like that.
That's part of the reason why I expect the Steelers to win. I think that there's going to be a lot of emotion with that team. The Steelers have always been a good franchise in terms of, you look at franchise and they try to disconnect their past players from the current ones. I think the Steelers do a fantastic job of mixing the cultures between their past players and their present ones. So I think that there's going to be a lot of emotion in that locker room for Franco Harris on Saturday.
I would agree with that. Tim, you sticking with the Raiders?
You already have it in a document, so I have to.
Yeah, you just like, when did we ever just start asking people if we were sure?
I'm definitely not sure, but
so this was my other trap game. Packers at 6-8, visiting the Dolphins at 8-6. Aaron Rodgers is starting to show some signs of trusting one of his wide receivers in Christian Watson, and like I said, now all of a sudden they're back in the playoff race somehow miraculously. Dolphins at 8-6, on the other hand, are kind of reeling a little bit, falling off of that top tier that we had them at a few weeks ago. 49.5 is the over under. Miami is favored by 3.5 points. Give me the Pack. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers in what is now essentially playoff scenarios for the Packers. They've started utilizing A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones a lot better. They're running the ball a lot better. And for whatever reason, we thought that, the Bradley Chubb signing was going to make the Dolphins defense significantly better, and it hasn't, come to fruition yet. They're struggling. Tua is struggling to score points right now. Give me the Packers. Yeah. And let's call the over on the 49.5. Packers over. Ryan.
I'm going the Dolphins this direction. I do see the Packers coming out and playing, playoff football for their lives. I do. That's why I do think that it also hits the over. But Miami's 5-1 at home. Their struggles have not been on the road this year. And the Packers defense just isn't what we thought it would be. They haven't played, fantastic football. They're not a top 10 defense like we thought they would be. I think that Miami does rebound. I think that they come off of their little skid here, that little dip of where they're just not playing great football. But 5-1 at home. Packers are 2-5 away from Lambeau. I think that this game lines up for the Dolphins. So give me the Dolphins to cover, and I think that they go well over 49 points.
Tim.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Ryan. I'm hoping the Packers can hold Tyreek Hill down to like 15 points for fantasy, but that's a different story. But even though I'm playing Tyreek Hill, oh God, I hate fantasy.
Yeah, you hope.
I can hope. Let me rephrase that. I hope Stephon Diggs outproduces Tyreek Hill. How about that one? Give me the Dolphins to cover and to go over.
Game time kickoff, 53 degrees. A little bit of a change from 12 and 16, right?
Yeah, it's 52 right now in Central Florida. Let's see.
It's
Broncos
in South Carolina.
Broncos at 4-10, visiting the Rams at 4-10. Ryan, you get to pick this game. 36.5 is the over-under. Broncos are favored by 3 points.
God, dude, what a nasty game. I can't believe I forgot this. I can't believe I remembered this banner. Um, God, man, give me the Broncos, I guess.
I guess.
I got nothing for either of these teams. The Rams are depleted. There's just not any talent there outside of that, 2 minutes and 25 seconds of fame for Baker Mayfield. I don't understand what's going on in LA. The Broncos are healthier, I guess. They're just not good. So give me the Broncos here. God, dude, what's the over under? It's got to be like 20.
36.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Definitely under. No shot. And I think 3 points is a good one right there. So that I'm going to call spot on again.
Tim?
Give me the Broncos. LA gonna be a little bit warmer than where Broncos are from, so I think they're gonna cover the 3 points, but I definitely don't think they're gonna go over.
Yeah, I mean, the only significant information I have on this game is that Russell Wilson is scheduled to play.
I hope Latavius Murray is out.
He's as of right now.
He is out. He's out. He's not playing.
He is out. Okay, I hadn't had that information. I knew he was questionable.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Broncos.
I'm gonna save my matchup with Tim Monty.
Yeah, the Broncos are just slightly more healthy. Yeah, I'm
Vegas
copy and
is
pasting,
telling me
right?
the Broncos will win. I'm picking the Broncos. That's it. That's all I got for this game.
Go
Broncos undercover as well. Yeah. Let's see. Moving on to this one. Another great game on the docket here. Wow, Sunday's games are outside of the Miami and Green Bay game, kind of weak on Sunday.
I mean,
Christmas
to be fair, there's
Day.
only 3 of them.
4, but yeah, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Oh no, 3. You're right. I'm sorry.
There's 3.
Yeah, you're right. Tim, you get first pick of this one. Buccaneers at 6-8, somehow still first in that division. Cardinals 4-10, really, really not doing good things with Kyler Murray out and Trace McSorley being their starting quarterback right now. Tampa Bay is favored by 7.5. 40.5 is the over/under.
Man, my fantasy matchup can definitely come down to this game with DeAndre Hopkins and Mike Evans, and I think Mike Evans is going to win this battle because of Tom Brady. So give me the Buccaneers. I don't think they want to cover 7.5 points, though. And I don't think it's going to go over the 40.5 points either.
You don't?
No.
Okay. Ryan, or no, it's me. I'm going Buccaneers over and to also not cover the – I'm sorry, and to cover the 7.5 point spread. This will be one of those games that deceive the NFL fan base into thinking that the Buccaneers are back. All right? This is what's going to happen is the Buccaneers are going to come out. They're going to play really well in Arizona. They're going to get the victory. They're going to win by 10 points. They're going to go over the 40.5 collectively. And people are going to think Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are back. I won't believe it, but that's what's going to happen. Ryan.
Tampa, cover, under. The Cardinals are starting Trace McSorley. Marquise Brown is out. The Bucs got a good run defense, so it's basically DeAndre Hopkins against the world out there, and that's just not going to get it done. The Bucs have struggled, but I think that this is going to be a game that they absolutely should win against a team that's 1-7 at home this year, and they will.
Another great game.
I'm surprised the spread is only 4 points on this game. I mean, Vegas got to know something about this.
It's at Indy. Maybe that's the only thing they know. So I go first on this one. It's Chargers at 8-6, visiting the Colts 4-9-1. Chargers are only favored by 4 points. 46 is the over/under. I think it's pretty safe to say I'm going Chargers to cover the 4 point spread here. And 46 points. Look, the Colts have been scoring some points. I know they're going to Nick Foles. BDN is going to, I really think BDN is going to score some points here. Michael Pittman's probably going to have a good game. So give me the Chargers with the over and to cover the 4.5 point spread. Ryan.
I'm going the same thing. I think Chargers are obviously the better football team fighting for their playoff lives. I do think that they go over 4 points. As I just said, I'm surprised that the spread was only 4 points anyway. And both teams can put up points while, the Chargers defense is not that great. So give me the over on the over-under.
Tim.
Yeah, I'm going to copy and paste from mine. Say, give me the Chargers to go cover and go over. I think Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, both gonna have something nice little pretty day.
Cool. That's it.
Another excellent show, fellas.
Yeah.
It's like we do this regularly.
For those of you watching on YouTube, if you have not done so yet, please hit that subscribe button on Facebook. Please hit that like and follow button on Twitter. Make sure you're following all of our handles right here on the bottom of the screen.
Follow it and then go ahead, like and retweet this, show. That's free support right there. It's all we can ask for.
Once again, here on the BSing Network, we want to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas, very happy holidays. We going to the Bill Pen here? Ryan, you want to call me in?
Bill Pen. Now you're a righty this time. We got Craig Kimball here, righty, going to the Bill Pen.
Right. Thanks for joining us here on BSing Sports, a part of the BSing Network where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. You guys have a good night.